Let's say you've started building your pedalboard and you've bought the technical things, the kind of almost obvious things that everyone says you should start with, and it is time to make some creative decisions about your tone, your sound, your versatility. Where do you even start? That's the question I'm asking today, and hopefully that's the question I'm answering. And I'm answering it using 2 pedals. Welcome back to the series where I, a musician who's not a tech or gearhead, tries to build her first pedalboard, and even more excitingly, welcome to my new space. Yes, I have a home, very exciting, and I even have my own studio back here. It is a disused gym, which is why there's a full-length mirror back there so that I can flex while I'm editing, I guess. We're just working with what we've got, one thing at a time. That's how I roll over here in Remiles land. Everything is DIY, and I'm just figuring it out as I go and bringing you along for the journey. Right now, that journey is building my pedalboard. If you've come to this video because you want really technical, detailed breakdowns of the 2 pedals we're looking at today, I'm sorry, you're in the wrong place.
I knew I should have taken that left turn at Albuquerque.
But if you are interested in genuine responses to these after using them for a few years, and a little bit of storytelling, and a little bit of thinking through how this might help you, you are absolutely in the right place. Stick around, we're in this together.
We're all in this together.
As far as I can tell, pedals fall into one of 2 categories. Technical, things you need, or creative, things you want. Now, I'm not saying you can't get creative with technical pedals, and I'm not saying creative pedals don't need a bit of technical understanding. But my first few pedal purchases addressed a very clear need. I needed to be able to tune my instrument, and then I wanted a bit more sustain and control over the consistency of the volume. Those are 2 technical, functional pedals. And here's the surprising thing. For some reason, my technical pedals have been in this nebulous state. The first compressor I bought is not the compressor I use now. In fact, I'm on compressor number 3, and the first tuning pedal I bought is not the one that's on my board. I've bought 2 creative pedals, and I've never bought any more, which says to me that something worked.
Yeah, I'm just secondhand new. I'm just secondhand new.
Let me tell you the story of how I came by the MXR Bass Chorus Deluxe. One day I walked past a pawnbroker's and I saw this in the window, and you know why it caught my eye? The colour. Is that shallow? Probably. This is my branding colour. For some reason, as a teenager, I went, Ed Sheeran has orange and Justin Bieber has purple. I need a colour when I'm a musician one day. And this is my colour, and I just have stuck to it because I'm a very stubborn person. So I stuck my face up against the window and I sort of squinted so I could see the little words, and I figured out what it was, and I went home and I Googled it, and I decided yes. Because it was from a pawnbroker's, it was fairly cheap. I don't remember how much I paid for this. But if you're just trying things, starting secondhand is a great place to start. And it took me a while, but I finally saved up enough. Whoa! And I absolutely fell in love with the chorus sound. So a few interesting things about this pedal. You can have a stereo or a mono output. You have to unscrew the back and take it off, and there's a switch in there. You switch or something, I don't know, it's been a while. I still don't know what those buttons do, but I know what sound they make, and I know what buttons to press to get a certain storytelling function in my music, if that makes sense. So for the longest time, this was the only creative pedal on my board. I liked it. There was a chance I wouldn't like it. That's why I just bought it. Cheap, secondhand, and I gave it a go.
I am your #1 fan!
The Ripley Fall pedal by Jam. I was in my tent one summer, watching YouTube videos. I happened to be recommended a video that said,
when I first tried the pedal, songs from Sting and Chaco instantly popped into my head.
And it was a chorus pedal, and I was like, ooh, I like chorus pedals.
I want more. And I know I shouldn't.
Now, before we get onto this, I'm going to back up, okay? Bear with me. I need to show you some of my band t-shirts. I want to explain to you my bass playing influences, because they're going to be different from yours, and I want you to be able to apply what I say without copying what I say. In 2015, I had just moved out of home to start my music degree, and my dad came up to Sydney and we went to a concert together, and it was Paul Simon and Sting. Now, if you know me, you'll know that Paul Simon is like my number one influence, but Sting is up there too. As a teenager, I loved exploring his weird time signatures, and also he is a singing bass player, which is something I've been trying to do the last few years. I was still at uni, but I was doing my Masters of Film, and the stadium was right next door to uni, so I literally went, did a few assignments during the day, and then hopped over to watch this show with my friend Abby. I have been a Beatles nut since I was a teenager, and I have wanted to play a Hofner bass since I was a teenager, which is now what I do rock. And the third big influence for me, no surprises guys, every bass player always says Jaco Pastorius. I know, I'm sorry, I'm really basic. I actually found him via Joni Mitchell. She is also a big songwriting influence of mine. Who is this bass player? And it's this guy called Jaco, and I fell down the rabbit hole. Samantha? Now, if you're only drawing on one source of inspiration, it can quite easily be copying.
I know all your moves, your crime-fighting style, favorite catchphrases, everything!
But if you're drawing on lots of sources of inspiration, it becomes this interesting, unique meld and mix of your own sound, right? That's what true creativity is. It's not original ideas.
I can't feel my legs!
Those are my legs.
It's a unique combination of old ideas. So why not do that with your pedalboard? Why not say, I'm going to copy Jaco Pastorius. I can't afford a fretless bass, but I'll take some of his ideas, I'll take his harmonics, and maybe every now and then I'll try just using the bridge pickup. And then I'm also going to steal from Paul McCartney. I'm going to play a Hofner bass. And ooh, Sting is doing something really interesting over there. How could I do that? How could I write a bass line that I can actually sing over? That was a really difficult thing recording the album. I was singing and playing bass, and there was no overdubs. And I really gave myself the challenge of writing interesting bass lines that I could actually feasibly sing over without getting tripped over myself and my fingers getting stuck and my words getting the lyrics muddled, and I struggle to remember lyrics anyway. But actually, Sting did say that one time in that documentary I watched as a teenager.
Also, I find it difficult to play the bass without singing, because the memory of what notes to play is directly linked to what I'm singing.
I can't play the bass and not sing. It's weird. Right. That's how I remember the tunes.
So if I really rehearse my bass lines and my singing, then all of it's going to turn into a better memory when I stand up to perform those songs. Okay, well, I've taken that bit from Sting. Can you see how all of this is starting to turn into my sound? So I watched that video and I thought, ooh, interesting, I should watch some more videos. So I watched some more videos about this pedal and I decided, yes. If you saw the last video, you'll know that I sold a guitar and it was time for the beautiful Ibanez hollow body to go. I'm very determined that I don't put the money in my bank and let it just kind of wither away. If I make $500 or whatever it is selling that guitar, I'm going to spend $500 on gear for this guitar and my bass. One of the big purchases I made with the sale money from that guitar was this. It wasn't the total price that I expected to get for the guitar. Now, thankfully, Jam, who I think are based out of Greece, they sell refurbished pedals. I'm sure there's a lot of functionality in here that I haven't really gotten my head around. Oh, look at the fishy! I know, it's pretty. One thing I really want to try, and I think I've missed the boat, is there is actually an input for an expression pedal.
There's always a bigger fish.
If you don't know where to start with creative pedals, look to your heroes. I cannot imagine anymore being a bass player that doesn't have a little chorus and vibrato pedals. Do I know all the details? Absolutely not. But have I found those pedals really useful? Yeah, I have. So maybe don't spend as much time reading up about the specs of these things, and instead read up about the effect of these things. How could they serve a song? How could they create an emotion? How can they help you tell a story?
Counting, but you're kind of counting. You're the odd one.
Ooh, I just found another sticker in the box for the Rip Before.